Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and podcast fans everywhere, to the first Life is But a Dream with Eric Paulson. I'm your host, Eric Paulson, and we are starting off with a series of one podcast where we are testing our ability to keep you, the throngs of guests out there, entertained. And I have picked probably one of the most entertaining friends I have, but I don't want you to hold that against me. My buddy Bill, I'm going to introduce him as my best friend for 50 years. We met 50 years ago, and we have been through life's ups and downs together, and it has been an unwavering friendship that has lasted longer than about any relationship I've had. So I'm going to bring Mr. Bill Hall out of the green room. Please give a big round of applause and welcome Mr. Bill Hall. Bill Hall. Yeah. All right. See, look at that, Bill.
An audience of one.
You've got it. No, here too. You've got a standing ovation. You've got a standing ovation. So, Bill, welcome to Life is But a Dream. You are truly a friend to be a guinea pig for this nonsense that I'm creating today. So let's see how it goes. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. And thank you for congratulations on this new endeavor. And I'm honored to be your first guest on your new show.
You may also be my last guest. That's great. And where are you today, Bill?
I am in the wonderful state of Colorado, in Colorado Springs, and with my lovely bride, who is one of the ones clapping in the background, Susan, who you know very, very well. Since
you bet.
Yeah.
I talked you into marrying her. Oh, wait, Susan's not there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Here I am.
Did you hear what he said? I talked you into marrying her.
Oh, I had to ask when Bill asked me to marry him if Eric made him ask.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. Well, this has been fun, Eric.
So anyway, you're in Colorado Springs.
Yes.
You have, since the time we've been friends, you have had a couple of different locations that you lived in. Where we met was in Detroit, Michigan, just outside Detroit, in Waterford Township, Watkins Lake, Michigan, on Lark Avenue.
Sure was.
That's where I lived, on Lark Avenue.
That was fun. Oh yeah, I don't want to have to get edited on your very first show, but yeah, we had a really good time. We did a lot of water skiing and some drinking a couple of beverages, and actually that's where we met.
That is. Do you have a story about how we met?
Matter of fact, I do. Yes, indeed. It's funny you should ask. I was thinking about that the other day. It was in Waterford. It was kind of a nice summer day, and I was an old IBM stiff. I had dark blue suit, and white shirt, rep tie, and these 10-pound wingtips. I'm standing on my porch right by the lake there, and this distinguished gentleman, actually he wasn't distinguished, kind of looked like Tom Selleck with a mustache. He comes up and he's about 20 feet away from me with a little gate there, and he says, excuse me, sir, may I talk to you for a moment? Of course, that's you I'm talking about. And I said, yeah, what's going on? He said, well, my son was attempting to deliver your newspaper this afternoon, and a wild dog started barking at him and chased him away. It was unable to deliver your paper, and you're gesticulating, you got your finger going, and with that,
wasn't I pointing at a bicycle lying in your yard?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that had been discarded. Yeah, and your son, he scurried away. Anyway, with that, this dog, this Heinz 57 dog called Lady, comes around, all of about 22 pounds, wagging her tail, and looks up at you. And while you got your finger out, I think Lady tried to lick your finger. And being the quick study that you were, you caught on to real quickly that maybe this wasn't a real vicious beast keeping your son from delivering the newspaper. But being the quick study that you are, you looked up and you said, what's your name? I said, Bill Hall. He said, hey, Bill, listen, what is that you're holding? I said, oh, you mean this? This is an ice cold martini, a couple of olives, and I'm enjoying it. He says, you don't happen to have a second one of those, do you? And with that, you open the gate, you come on up, and that was kind of the introduction of the way we became friends.
That is the way I remember it as well.
Okay.
And that friendship has moved from us being in our 20s to us being in our 80s.
Yeah.
So it has been a long and unique and also interesting friendship. We have spent a lot of time together over the years. We've also done a lot of things together over the years. Some of it people want to remember. Some of it people don't want to remember. But it's been a great run of friendship. We have been through. I might want to add that both Bill and I were married to women at the time we met back on Lark Avenue in Waterford Township, and our wives became good friends and close friends as well. And at one point in this friendship, our wives decided to leave us, and they headed off on their separate ways. And Bill and I became single individuals. I think we were about 38, 39. You were always a little older, Bill.
Yeah, whatever. I know.
So you may have been right at 40, but I'm not sure. Our wives left us, and you and I proceeded on with our friendship as two single guys. And one of the problems that we had is always trying to keep each other interested in what we wanted to, and the things that we wanted to do. And I was moving with a career within the music industry, and I went from Lark Avenue in Waterford Township, moved to St. Louis, and as a matter of fact, Bill bought my house when I moved.
Most of the house.
What?
I bought most of the house. Remember, there was
Oh, that's right.
There
was that one corner of the garage, of my garage, that was sitting on my neighbor's property. That in the survey that we did, Bill's house that he bought, or that he was buying, was infringing upon my next door neighbor's house. So of course I had already moved to St. Louis, so Bill had to handle it. So he handled that with great flair, and did get out of it, and ended up buying the house, the total house. He got an easement, and then to make matters worse, he bought my car.
That's right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And Bill came down to St. Louis. We spent time in St. Louis together. Then I moved to Minneapolis, where I have been ever since. Bill, you left Michigan and you went to Colorado Springs, didn't you?
Yeah, right. I got a different job working for a computer company, and that's where I met lovely Susan. But yeah, that was
right.
Was quite
and in Minneapolis is where I met lovely Karen. What, Bill? I'm sorry.
Let me interject. We were in Michigan, as I recall. We were up north. We were doing some fishing, and we were doing more fishing than catching, but we were doing some fishing. And I remember the cabin we were staying in, kind of late at night. We might have had one beer or maybe two, and we turned the lights off, and I'm ready to go to sleep. And you say, Bill, I got to tell you something. I said, wait, what's that? I said, I have met the love of my life. And you proceeded to introduce me in the dark verbally to your current wife, Karen. And you said she is so beautiful, not just outside, but inside. She is just a spectacular woman. That was my introduction from you to your current
That's
wife.
right. I remember that late at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah.
She was as beautiful outside or as beautiful inside as she was outside.
Yes.
And I have been married to that woman now almost 40 years. It's sneaking up on it. And you and Susan have been married what?
Yeah,
You,
just about the same. Yeah.
yeah, just a little less.
Yeah.
You got married at our house in Hilton Head, South Carolina, which of course I might add, we were not
I
invited to.
understand.
So
Yes.
it was
Yes, indeed.
it was a private ceremony, I guess.
Yes. And
So Bill,
yeah.
we've got comments coming in. Can
Uh-oh.
you look on the right-hand side of your screen? On the right-hand side of your screen, there's a comment. Holden Og live on YouTube and living the dream.
I don't
Holden,
see
you're
that.
the best.
I
Thank
do not-
you.
I don't see comments.
Natalie Ogg's on. She just sent a bunch of hearts. So this throng of thousands we have is starting to stack up. Maybe it's 1,002 now.
Yeah, I can't see the comments here. I don't know why, but I can't.
You
I
can't.
see-
Okay.
No.
Well, we love the comments, and anybody that wants to sign into it and leave us
Oh,
a
yeah.
comment. Oh, wait, Holden said Panama trip. Let's hear about it. That's a good one, Bill.
Hold
Okay.
it. Yeah.
This is
now
all
I'm-
about living the dream.
Yeah.
You and I living the dream together.
I see
Right?
Holden, Natalie. I don't see anybody else just yet, but if I have to click on that, then that takes, and I can't see your beautiful face when I do that.
Well, you know what? Holden wants to hear about the Panama trip.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let me start that off, if you don't mind, Bill.
Please.
And then I'll hand it off to you.
Yeah. Great.
In 2019, I was still living in the wintertime, Karen and I in Costa Rica. And it was the beginning of summer. We had rotated back to Minneapolis, and I had a friend of mine who was also a flight instructor. And just to back up a little bit, I had spent about 4 or 5 years learning to fly a gyrocopter, bought a gyrocopter, and Karen and I were flying it all over Costa Rica. And he called me and said, we're the first gyrocopters allowed into Panama, and we're putting together a series of 4 or 5 gyrocopters. We want you to be in it. Would you consider inviting a friend and coming? I said, yes, I would. So I immediately called Bill, who had never seen a gyrocopter.
No.
But has had a pilot's license and had done a little flying before. Yeah. And called Bill, told him 2-week trip through Costa Rica and Panama in my gyrocopter. He and I, a couple other guys in their gyrocopters, and it's going to be a real adventure because no one had ever done it before. And the Panamanian government had never allowed anybody in a gyrocopter to cross the line from Costa Rica to Panama. So Bill said, I'm in. He didn't even think about it for a moment.
Yep.
So the next thing we do is set up the dates. I give him the dates. He flies into Costa Rica to meet me, and we stay at my house in Costa Rica that night, have a nice dinner, have a few martinis, as I recall. But we're stone sober the next morning when we loaded up the gyrocopter and prepared for our trip. You want to take a little bit from there, Bill?
Sure. You're right. When you called me and you said, hey, Bill, how would you like to go on a gyrocopter trip, maybe spend a couple of weeks through Central America? I said, are you kidding me? I'm busy. I can't make it until tomorrow sometime. And as I came down to your house in Costa Rica there, you had already purchased these white golf shirts with the name of the gyrocopter on it. Songbird, yeah. What a creative, perfect name. Oh yeah. So we went out to the airport and I said, what is this? What is this songbird? And you jump in and started, we were cleaning it up. I remember you pulling it out and I thought, well, this is a magnificent, I didn't really know what to picture. Like you said, I had been a pilot with little 150s and 172 Cessnas, these high wings and all of that. And here's this thing with a propeller on the back and a big propeller on the top. I said, I done a little research. I said, how exactly does this work? You said, here, I'll show you. You back it out of that little barn. And anyway, it was the start of a spectacular. I think we left the next day or something, but it was,
Yeah, we did leave the next day.
yeah.
And the reason that our gyrocopter, which was an enclosed Cavalon, the only one on the trip that was enclosed, the reason that it was named Songbird was a recording artist by the name of Cassidy, who was one of our recording artists, died of cancer, and she recorded a song, Songbird, that my wife truly loved. And in fact, at our 25th reunion, she had my granddaughter, Holly, sing that song for us. And but the other part of it was not only the song, but one of my favorite shows growing up as a young man on TV, black and white TV, was Sky King.
Oh,
and
sure.
the name of Sky King's airplane was Songbird. So I copied the logo of the album and put it on the side of the plane. And that is still flying in Costa Rica today. And it's still named Songbird.
Oh,
So anyway, off we went and we flew 2 weeks. I think we flew, as I recall, it was 200 plus hours
yeah.
that we flew in that 2 weeks, all through the San Blas Islands, stayed in some of the remotest locations, saw some of the remotest islands. We landed on one island that the runway had been taken over by a bunch of kids for a soccer field. They had gotten to the island by a dugout canoe. So here we have a dugout canoe parked at the edge of the island in our gyrocopter parked right next to it, looking at the two types of technology that people live with today in this world. It was just a thrilling experience and one that I could not have shared with anyone else and got the appreciation that I did from Bill.
That was so much fun. I remember we were trying to land. Now, landing the gyrocopter doesn't take 2,000 feet. It takes 200 feet, but remember there were tennis shoes strewn across the runway. You had to clear off in order to land and to take off, and we were getting low on gas, and so these wonderful native people show up in these gallon jugs that you use for water or milk. But that's how they transported gasoline to us.
They had to go 50 miles across open water to get gasoline.
Oh yeah. Oh, but what a trip! Should I mention the time we almost ran out of gas?
You could mention that. Yeah, sure.
You seem a little hesitant. Yeah.
Careful, Susan.
Yeah, I know.
During this trip, unbeknownst to Bill and I, Susan and Karen were talking every day, saying, "Where do you think they are? What do you think they're up to? What do you think they're doing?" Not ever imagining the adventure that it was. There you are.
Tell them about the net.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that, but yeah. Yeah. In fact, I'll start with the net. This was hot. I mean, where we were was 95 plus degree humid. Every island we went to, I think there were 8 or 9 islands. They're sparsely populated. Maybe some had 10 or 12.
On Porvenir, the place we landed, where the net happened, there was one hotel. There was 11 people that inhabited the island. And the hotel didn't have any windows in it. It just had cutouts and it had mosquito net beds. So Bill and I had a room with 2 cots and mosquito nets over the cot. So I'll leave it at that. Bill.
Yeah,
You
and then
go.
they mentioned when we were checking in quotes, they said, there's a shower in the bathroom. The shower consisted of a little tube sticking out of the wall. Remember, there was no shower head or anything like that. It was
Right.
just a little, but anyway, it was hot at night once again. Where, maybe I had a beer that would, and I get in bed. You do too. Got this mosquito nets over us, and it's pitch black. And about midnight, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, I have to go to the bathroom, and I forget.
Rather badly, as I recall.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't the Grizzlies this time, but so I said, well, I'm going to roll out of bed, forgetting that it's all dark and that there's a net above us. So I go to get out of bed, and I accidentally pull the net down, and so it falls down over me, and so I'm ensconced like a caterpillar.
He's trapped. He's trapped like a tiger in a
yeah.
net,
I got
trying
this,
to get to the bathroom,
and
and he's making such a racket. He wakes me up. I flick on the light and look over, and here's Bill wrapped up in the net, trying to crawl across the floor in his underwear to the bathroom.
and the more I tried to get out of it, it's like what those things you put your fingers
The
in, those
Chinese
things,
handcuffs.
and you pull them out, and it's
Chinese handcuffs.
oh yeah. So I'm just tight. Oh boy. So,
Anyway,
yeah,
we finally got him out of the net
yeah.
and got him back in bed.
That was a fun time.
That was a fun time.
Yeah.
Porvenir was an interesting island.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was just another wonderful voyage that we had together. And we've got a couple of comments over here. Hope Og says, tell them about the Panama trip, which we're doing. Hadley Og said, these are my grandchildren, the Oggs. My daughter, Natalie Ogg, had 6 children, and she actually had 7 children, and unfortunately, we lost one. And anyway, six of my grandchildren are the Ogg family, and they're all very interesting people. They all used to come to Costa Rica. Hadley Ogg wrote in a comment, Bill, I don't know if you can see it, getting to ride in the Songbird was a dream.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got a lot of comments from those folks.
Yeah.
And there's other people. I think Janelle is on now. Michelle's on now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of people on.
Remember that? Well, just lastly on this gyrocopter trip, we got a little low on gas at one point in our trip.
Oh yeah. That was that's a memorable event.
Oh, a little bit. We're out over open water in this bay area, and I think Guido had said, "Don't worry, we're gonna have." He was the leader, and like you said, we had a self-enclosed your gyrocopter.
It kind of looked like the what was the cartoon show? The Jetsons. It looked like George and Judy Jetson's car. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we're in this open bay, and the head gentleman said, "Oh, you can have plenty of gas. Don't worry about it." So we're about halfway across this bay, hoping to land in the not too distant future. I'm on the left side, and I'm watching the fuel gauge, and it's kind of going like this. And I look, and it's getting real close to the E, that empty. I said, "Eric, what's the story with this?" He said, Guido says we got plenty of gas, not a problem. But then Guido says, "Well, I didn't actually calculate the headwind that we're running into." I said, "Oh boy, wow, yeah." And I was comfortable. We're listening to music and popping M&Ms and having a good time until you said. Listen, Bill, I don't want to alarm you, but these are gull wing doors, and
We better develop a plan.
Yeah, if you get down by the water, make sure that you loosen the doors and have them come up, because if we hit the water's going to press the doors, and we'll be trapped inside this. So
Sinking.
I'm going. you know, so anyway, but we made it
Good.
with fuels to spare.
We were at 2,000 feet then
Yeah,
when I said that, and we went into a slow dive
yeah,
down to 1,000 feet,
yeah,
figuring, well, what the hell, if we hit the water, it'll be easier from 1,000 feet than 2,000 feet.
yeah,
So just get ready just in case.
yeah.
And we got to the island. There was a 600-foot runway on this little island from ocean to ocean, and we landed safely and kind of got out, and thank God for the terra firma that we were standing on, and went on to a cocktail.
That whole trip was just, I've told Susan, I've told many people, and I've got a video of that. And you and I, as I recall, one day we solved the problems of the world over a beer, all the challenges, but
We
skipping
did.
along the ocean, you know, a couple of feet above the water, and then going as high as 8,000 feet through the clouds and that. I mean, it's just incredible. It's one of the best trips I've ever had in my life, primarily because I was with you, but
Thank you.
it was wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And so that was our Panama trip. Now, Bill, we're looking at things here that, our life's changed as we move into the 80s. It's different than it's ever been before. Our relationship with our wives is different. Our relationship with the world is different.
Yeah.
What are you finding most memorable, or no, what are you finding the goals are for you in your 80s now?
Being upright this side of the grass, those basic things. But
That's true.
yeah, healthy, trying to stay as healthy as I can. I always had a motto, it sounds kind of corny, but I try to make a difference, a positive difference in somebody's life every day. And if you kind of have that as a target, it makes you feel good, but not to get too, carried away. But I am beyond lucky being married to anybody on this call knows that my wife Susan is, when you look up better half in the dictionary, there's Susan's picture. So I got real lucky there. Yeah.
That is terrific. And
Yeah.
I'm going to tell a quick story about you, Bill. Early on not early on, about halfway through our relationship, Bill and Susan hit a bumpy road, business-wise and financially. And Bill took, I think you were in your 60s at the time.
Yeah.
And Bill took a step back from everything and developed a plan. And I'll tell you, I have never seen somebody so dedicated, some couple so dedicated to that plan. He redesigned himself, he re-energized himself, he refocused his energy, and he brought this thing to a culmination. And he has done everything he set out to do, with the exception of one thing, and that's retiring, because you just can't give it up.
No.
But I got to tell you, I watched this from afar with Bill, trying to help where I could, always trying to give advice, some of it good, some of it probably not so good. But I have admired what this man has done and how he has taken care of himself and his family through all of this with such grace and such style. Bill, I admire you so much for what you've accomplished there.
Well, thank you. You've been an inspiration to me in getting that. I mean, I could get on. Everybody on this call knows what you've accomplished, so I'm not going to run down. But you're an inspiration. From being a Type A Marine all the way through your business accomplishments to your personal relationship with Karen, and I don't know if we turned this into a love in, but I truly do love you, and you've been an inspiration. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, we've been on this for a half hour.
Okay. Yeah.
And I can't think of tooting your horn anymore, because it's just going to go to your head for Christ. And I want to make sure that we leave all these people the throngs of people that are listening to us, that we leave them with a good feeling and a good taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
So I would like to personally thank you for taking this time with me and sharing some of our memories and sharing our friendship with the throngs of thousands out there watching this. And I hope that you're having a wonderful day, knowing you're having a wonderful week.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you so much for this.
Yeah, thank you for including me and being the inaugural trip with you on this. Who knows where this may go? I can hear oh yeah.
You're going to hear the applauses in the background. Maybe I'll get a standing ovation. Who knows?
Yeah.
Listen,
Thanks, Eric.
if anybody's out there, before we sign off, if anybody's out there that has anything to say, we've got a number of, let me just see. We've got a number of comments. Of course, I can't get this damn thing to work. There. We've got a number of comments. I'd like to thank everybody for listening in. This is your first podcast, Life is But a Dream with Eric, with my buddy Bill, my best friend of 50 years. Bill, God bless you.
Thank
Give
you.
Susan a kiss, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, my friend.
With that, I want to thank everybody who participated in this. This was a test grown out of frustration because I just wanted to get the first one done. And Bill was kind enough to be my guinea pig. So thank you all very much for tuning in, and we'll advise you as to the next podcast and when it's coming.